I think I owe the new generation of activists an explanation for how I have come from a state of being bewildered to realizing the details of how Trumpetunians and their Black Panther decoitery overthrew um, the movement with the help of the cast of hair who were in the CIA during the AIDS attack by empowering the neoliberal intelligentsia with profoundly despicable and parochial stands about such things as fighting words. The free speech movement traces back to the 60s. And of course, it was emotional because people were oppressed. They had been denied an education. They were learning about how they'd been robbed. Their mothers were being insulted. My own little sister was spat on by steel workers when she was scarcely 10 years old. So the parochial establishment, what had been the White Citizens Council, were always in better control of their language. It was easier for them to count to 10 because they were groomed, cared for, prosperous, with good educations. So the free speech movement drew the line at actual blows. We can argue, we can learn from each other, we can talk it out. Dick Gregory said, "You can call me by the N word," which he called the title of his book, but just don't spit on me or punch me or any of that. And I was about 8, 9 years old when Hair came out, and we were all taught to sing the songs. One of them was HUD's song. I'm a color spade and nigger, black a tigger, jungle bunny, jiggaboon coon, pickaninny, mow mow, Uncle Tom, after mama, little black sandbug, cotton picking, swamp guinea, junk man, shoeshine boy, elevator operator, table cleaner, Harlem hard nose hoodoo, zombie baggy lip, flat nose tap dancer, resident of Harlem, and the president of the United States of Love. And it was to take the sting out and allow for free speech. Well, the mechanics were under the hood saying, anytime anybody says that, we're going to punch them. And the Vietnam veterans were not all against the war. A lot of them were the NAACP who despised Martin Luther King's anti-war movement. There was a black general in the Vietnam War, and he looked at his traitors talk. So we'll do some punching bags with these pussy balls. Went through the ranks. Now, what they monkey rigged into my neuroplastic brain injury was a psychiatric injury that was cunningly connived in Attica State Prison Psychiatric. The brilliant was named Bernard Wattenmaker. And they tortured me and they pussyballed me and used me for sex and battered my brains and said, go do what Hair tells you to do. And then they released AIDS and sabotaged my love life and set the NAACP on me with spy cam licky jobs cameras for being a devil worshipping Russian spy. One of those nights of resignations wandering across the Ukraine, invading against the will of the people, because they had put in something they called bursting, which was Edna Marie Galuli's nickname adopted for the film Exorcist. It was a vituperative, impactive, premeditated, impactive, vituperative disorder. In other words, this thing was like synthetic demonic possession. So when you hear HUD sing his liberation song, you know that's demonic possession, that's the racist. in the black man aching to get out and take it out on a white. They called it cow hooves therapy. That's why I'm suspicious of what's going on in the Ukraine, was because they had a parameter for cow hooves. They could send in the Knights of Resignation to go and get tuned by the brother Slavs as an antidote to the frustration of carpet chewing for the overpopulation that Flame Over Africa is going to take care of. Now, you have to decode all of those processes. They're very sly. But the Hare was in on it. That's the point. They didn't mean to liberate anybody. Prisoners in N-word Town was a way of saying, get the whitey children to say something nice about the black man and engage in the Taliban structure of the free speech movement so we can take them prisoner. And their pretty white grandmothers will have to pay and pay. And we'll get that white beach Cersei to pay and pay. And this is all connived by UW Dialectical. Let's not fool ourselves that the free speech movement was on the side of anything but political correctness backlash. Let's not fool ourselves that the Black Panthers in Seattle mean well in the Green Party. They're Trumpetunians. Don't fool yourself. You're walking right into the jaws of their well-laid trap.